a very talented pitching staff in Vaughter and Kennedy. Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting. Your tax problems don't care who you are, but we do. Here we go. On a Monday morning in Oklahoma City, Jada Coleman digs in. The first pitch of the game is low for ball one. And that first pitch came right at 11:06 a.m. And I see you guys out there playing hooky on a Monday. Why not? Ball one to Coleman. That's the Sooner dugout pounding the drum as the 1-0 pitch is in for strike one. You mentioned it with Vaughter, too. Elena Vaughter, she'll move the ball around quite a bit and has a pretty nasty off-speed pitch, which is a pitch that has given the Sooners some problems this season. Here's the 1-1 from the righty Vaughter. Coleman takes ball two.
Well, she's just a completely different look than Kennedy, and that's why this staff is so successful. A stat I saw in this Women's College World Series alone between Vaughter and Kennedy, 25 strikeouts, .35 ERA. I mean, so they're filled.
The 2-1 pitch right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But I think the thing about Vaughter, she works east and west a lot. A lot of curveball, a lot of screwball, backdoor curve. Not a ton to change the eyes up and down. I think that works in OU's favor.
Coleman lines one to first, right at Schultz, who makes the catch, and there's one away. Coleman hit it hard, but Emily Schultz, the first baseman, was there, and there is one away. And here's the birthday girl, Tiare Jennings, turning 21 today.
That's a big one.
Second baseman number 23, Tiare Jennings.
Saw her entire family able to finally be here. A lot of Jennings representation in the Sooner crowd today. First pitch to Jennings is out, ball one.
A little bit, just a bit.
63 miles an hour. You heard our home plate umpire agree with me just a bit.
And the thing about Vaughter, too, we're going to see her get to the mid to upper 60s and then change speeds like we just saw her do to Jada Coleman down to the mid 50s. And same thing there to Jennings. That's in the low 50s.
Strike one. Dustin Douglas, that's the man behind home plate today. Jennings hitting .433 on the season, hit her 17th home run here against Tennessee on Saturday. Here's a 1-1. This ball's popped up on the infield. Young, the shortstop, ranges behind the second base bag. Sunglasses on to make the catch. And as Haley Lee steps to the plate, there's 2 away.
Same approach to Coleman and Jennings, coming in at times with the curveball and the drop ball and then changing speeds. And it's not quite a changeup. It's a little bit of an off-speed drop. And you also see the changeup that's even slower than that. So same pitch to get Coleman and Jennings, that off-speed.
Lee deep in the box. First pitch, tried to check her swing. Went. And I think the pitch was a strike anyway. Lee is looking for her first Women's College World Series hit. She had been riding a 7-game postseason hitting streak dating back to the Big 12 tournament.
Ball.
0-1 pitch misses low and away, ball 1. 0 for 3 against Stanford, 0 for 2 against Tennessee. She had 12 hits for the Sooners in their previous 7 games. The 1-1, a little bit in. Boy, we're going to have a tight zone today if that's going to be a ball.
That's a good spot. It's a good take by Haley Lee because not much you can do with that pitch, with that screwball in the inner half, but that's a strike. If that's not, like you already said, Blank, if that's not a strike, it could be a long day.
The 2-1. Changeup popped up right behind home plate. Kaneshiro under it. The Gold Glover makes the catch. Barely. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Elena Vaughter. The Sooners hit the ball hard with Coleman. Go in order in the top half of the first. Taylor Gindelsberger, Emily Young, and Allie Kaneshiro. 1 through 3 for Stanford. Kylie Chung, their second baseman. Actually, that is incorrect. She is their DP. They had flip-flopped Mailer and Chung in the lineup. Chung will bat fourth. Emily Schultz is fifth at first base. Caitlin Lim will hit in the sixth hole in right field. Sydney Steele will bat seventh. She's been their hottest hitter at third base, with Ellie Elk in left field batting eighth, and River Mailer batting ninth and second. First pitch to Gindelsberger is in for a strike. Down the zone.
That's all we're asking for. Throw strikes and make Stanford put the ball in play, because they're going to try the short game. I think we're going to see a lot of different looks from Stanford today, but Nicole May's got to work ahead.
The 0-1 misses a little bit up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gindelsberger has been Stanford's best hitter in the postseason. She's hitting .440. Pretty big hit here yesterday. Scored the only run for Stanford in their 1-zip win over Washington. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. House foul at the plate. In fact, Gindelsberger yesterday went 1 for 3 with a run scored. And the only Stanford run of the game against Washington came on Gindelsberger's steal. And the throw got away from the shortstop who was covering. She took third. And that's how Stanford was able to get their only run of the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Taylor. Hard hit ball, right side through into right field. A leadoff single, and keep an eye on Gindelsberger. 9 of 9 now on stolen bases this season. And a leadoff single right through the right side between Jennings and Sanders. There is a good amount of Stanford fans here. And they are making some noise early, even though on the West Coast, consider this, it's, 9:15 a.m.
And Nicole May, I've been saying it all morning, she's got to pound the zone, but when she's in a pitcher's count, she's got to throw a more competitive pitch than that. That's just a miss.
First attempted bunt by Young is foul for strike 1.
And we're going to see short game here from Stanford, one way or another. They rely on the sacrifice bunt. They rely on a hit and run. We might see Gindelsberger take off, as you already said, Plank, but there's going to be short game here, and Alyssa Brita knows it because she is in Emily Young's face.
I mean, she is, now she takes a step back more than halfway down the line, and even closer now as the 0-1 is fouled back. That play that led to the only Stanford run was a leadoff against Washington, was a leadoff single by Gindelsberger in the 6th inning. Back-to-back pop-outs, then Kylie Chung lifted a ball that was just out of the reach of Riley Holtorf, the Washington shortstop. 0-2 count, though, as you said. You're in a pitcher's count here, so.
Throw a good pitch. That was a good rise ball that was fouled back. Good place for it again, but it's got to be up in the eyes.
0-2 is lifted deep to left field in foul territory. Riley Boone ranges over and makes the catch. Gindelsberger was well off the bag and has to sprint back to tag up. An incredible catch in foul territory to start the day for Riley Boone. That wasn't even fair. What was Gindelsberger thinking?
So, 2 things. Nicole May has got to throw better 2-strike pitches to start this game. All right. Second thing, you could see as Gindelsberger is watching that ball tail. All right, I understand what she was doing. She didn't think Riley Boone was going to get there, and she was planning on staying on third base. But as soon as you could see that Riley Boone had a beat on it, and as soon as she did, Gindelsberger has got to tag up because she should be in scoring position.
Ali Kaneshiro takes strike 1. I guess we could have a debate about whether or not if Boone didn't get there, that would have been a fair foul ball.
I understand the why. I understand why Gindelsberger took off, because it looked like it was potentially going to be down the line.
0-1 is fouled at the plate. Quickly, no ball and 2 strikes.
But Gindelsberger, you could see as that ball started to hang and tail that Riley Boone was going to catch it. You could tell. Gindelsberger should have noticed that and gotten back and tagged up, because that would have been a long throw for Riley Boone. She wasn't throwing Gindelsberger out. She moves too well. But I understand why she was so far gone, but she's got to do a better job. I'm glad she didn't. But as a base runner, she's got to do a better job of realizing when the outfielder has a beat on it.
0-2, check swing on a ball in the dirt. Hansen throws beyond Gindelsberger. And if Sydney Sanders didn't catch that, she was going to wear it. Kind of handcuffed her.
She wants to throw someone out or pick someone off so badly. She never gets the opportunity to do it.
No one runs on the Sooners. It's been a storyline all season long. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Nicole May. Grounded towards third, foul. Just underway, scoreless game, bottom of the second inning. In fact, in the postseason, there hasn't been an opponent steal a base against Oklahoma. Meanwhile, the Sooners are 8 for 9.
So much of that's a testament to Kinsey Hansen, but it's also when you get base runners, you can't risk the chance as that pitch is fouled off down the left field line, but you can't risk the chance of giving up an out because runs have been so scarce against this pitching staff. There's so many moving parts as to why people don't run. I will say I like these 2-strike pitches much better from Nicole May on this at-bat.
There's been an adjustment is what you're saying.
Yes.
1 ball and 2 strikes, May. Rocks and fires. Grounded softly towards third. Brito's only play is to first. There's 2 away. Gindelsberger advances to second. Kaneshiro is retired. Here's Kylie Chung. On the season, by the way, only 4 stolen bases allowed. Or pardon me, 8 of 12. So 8 stolen bases. Only 12 attempts all season.
And I think, 2 of them were in the Clemson series at Super Regionals.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's just wild.
So a runner in scoring position here early, and one of the stars of the Stanford postseason run, Kylie Chung, digs in, takes the first pitch for a strike. Chung, though, numbers-wise, just hitting .292, but 7 hits, 4 runs batted in, including that clutch hit here last night against Washington. Here's the 0-1. In for a strike, strike 2.
Hammering the zone.
Has she been 0-2 on every hitter so far?
Yes. Love it.
Smart 0-2 pitch here.
Yes. And didn't see him early, but much better job against Kaneshiro. Want to see a really quality pitch out of the zone here.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from May, and it's lifted deep to left field. She got it up, and Chung left the yard. An 0-2 pitch hung in the zone, and Kylie Chung lifts it over the left field wall, and the Sooners are down 2-0 here in the bottom of the first.
We've been saying it all inning. You can see it unfolding from Nicole May. She's throwing good pitches, but when she's ahead in counts, she is not getting the locations that she needs. I know that pitch was up in the zone, but here's the thing about a rise ball. If you're going to throw it 0-2, you better get it in somebody's eyes, and that was at Chung's letters. And she tracked it the entire way. You cannot throw an 0-2. You can't throw a pitch to start an at-bat there. But beauty of this, a lot of game left, and Stanford knows it. So we need to see Nicole May settle down here.
Kaneshiro's home run is her 8th of the season, and in the postseason it's her 2nd. Runs batted in 8 and 9. And here's Emily Schultz. We've only had 1 comeback win in this Women's College World Series so far. Here's Emily Schultz. First pitch, strike. Schultz, the left-handed hitting first baseman, made a nice play in the field on a line drive by Jada Coleman. But like a majority of the hitters in this lineup has struggled a bit in the postseason, hitting just .238. Here's the 0-1. A foul towards the Stanford dugout. Not enough time for either Alyssa Brito or Kinsey Hansen to get there.
Well, if you're Nicole May right now, again, She's been here. She's been in this position. Continue to throw strikes, but you've also got to stick with the game plan and throw good pitches when you're in pitchers counts. That's the beauty. That's why you work to get 0-2 so you can expand the zone.
0-2 again. A line drive to center field, base hit. Stanford has 3 first-inning hits. On Thursday, they had 5 hits for the entire game, and every hit has come on an 0-2 count.
And that's what's tough. And you know, Nicole May, Coach Rocha, me up here, it's just not, and I'm watching the replay, it's a fat pitch on 2 strikes.
Here's Caitlin Liam, bunts it, popped up behind home plate, not enough room for Kinsey Hansen. By my scorebook, this is the first time that the Sooners have given up 2 runs or more in the first inning since the Friday game against Oklahoma State that they inevitably won going away.
I'm tossing this out here. We've got a lot of game left, but I was thinking about this last night.
The 0-1 pitch is in for a strike, another 0-2 count.
0-2 count. Expand the zone, Nicole May.
What were you thinking about last night?
What a good matchup this is for Kirsten Deal. All these lefties. I would not, and I think it'll depend on how the Sooners do offensively as this game continues on, but this is a good matchup for Kirsten Deal.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Lim. There you go. Missed it way up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you know Nicole May is going, I've got to get the ball out of the zone on 2 strikes. Here's the deal with it. It's got to be, it's such a fine line. It's got to be out of the zone, but it also still has to be a competitive pitch, right? So, but you know Nicole May's feeling it, knowing she has to throw better 2-strike pitches.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. There you go, Nicole May. Damage done for Stanford, though, in the first. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they strand a runner. Oklahoma's got its work cut out for him on a...
My mind keeps going. I keep going back to that super regional and facing Valerie Cagle, who really reminds me a little bit of Elena Vaughter in their approach, the off-speed pitches and working 3 different speeds. But the Sooners have been here before. That's why it was so important for the Sooners to be in a position like they were against Clemson, because this isn't new. They were just here a week ago.
First pitch to Brito is in for a strike. Stanford playing with a lot of energy, as you might imagine right now, but keep this in mind too. We've got 1 ace up our sleeve for here today. One major ace up our sleeve. 0-1 pitch from Vaughter headed home to Brito. Ball a little bit out. Stanford has their finals on Thursday, so they're still in school. So maybe there's a chance there could be some distraction.
They're still in school in June?
They are still in school in June.
It wasn't snow days.
No, they're on the quarter system in Stanford, in Palo Alto, California.
I'm a teacher. That sounds terrible.
He's the 1-1 pitch to Brito. A little bit up 2-1. In fact, what was the story on Gindelsberger? She is doing her thesis on her graduate thesis on TikTok and its influence on the news. So she is grinding away on schoolwork while also playing in the World Series. The 2-1 is in for a strike, 2-2.
That changeup.
54 miles an hour.
Yep, and throwing it in a hitter's count as well. 2 balls, 1 strike, and you could see Brito just taking it the whole way. Wouldn't be surprised to see the off-speed again here, but probably trying to get Brito to chase out of the zone.
406 average on the season for Brito. Also has 17 home runs. Here's the 2-2. Ball missed, not by much.
Good drop
a little
ball.
low. Good take, too?
Yeah. No, Brito's had a good at-bat, seeing a lot of pitches. Because Vaughter also, she doesn't walk many hitters. She's only walked 28 batters this entire season. But I feel like I'm sitting late, waiting for the change.
3-2, ball 4. People are going to get mad again. Yeah. Brito threw her bat, and she's all kinds of fired up.
People are going to get mad. You know who doesn't care? Alyssa Brito. Like...
Here's Sydney Sanders. I had more people saying something about the bat slam on the walk than anything I've ever seen. They've done it all year.
They hate us because they ain't us. That's where I'm at.
Here's Sid Sanders. First pitch to the Sooner first baseman is in for a strike.
I will say, though, so much learned in that at-bat from Alyssa Brito, a 2-1 changeup and then a 3-2 changeup. This is going to be, we're going to see these OU hitters start sitting in late rhythm. They're going to have to be fouling off the fastball or anything with velocity, opposite side of the field, so that way they're on time for the off-speed.
0-1. There you go. Fouled off to the right side.
And that was an off-speed pitch. So I can almost guarantee you these hitters are being told to sit what we call in late rhythm.
Sanders went 1 for 1 with a run scored and a walk here against Tennessee on Saturday. 0 for 1. A couple of walks against Stanford on Thursday. She's behind on the count here. No balls and 2 strikes to pitch. Way up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I say way up. I look back on the replay. Kaneshiro is a little bit handsy back there, so maybe that helped that out just a bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brito at first. Sooners down 2-0. Oh, called strike 3 right on the inside corner on Sanders, who tried to turn into it a bit, but it's the first strikeout for Elena Vaughner, and here comes Hansen.
On the changeup, and that was even slower than some of the off-speed pitches that we've seen from Vaughner in this game. She took even a little bit more off of it, and you can see the rotation. It has sort of that curveball spin on it and makes it even tougher. It's a very deceptive pitch.
What more can we say about Kinsey Hansen here in this postseason for the Sooners? Hit a homer here on Friday and takes a strike here. Fastball right down Lindsay. Hansen is the leading hitter of the everyday players for the Sooners in the NCAA tournament. She's 10 for 20 with 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. She's also scored 8 runs. The 0-1 misses a little bit in. A really good pitch.
Yeah, it was.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Off speed as well. So, if anything, I mean, Stanford, and we said this earlier, we've seen OU at times struggle with the off-speed pitch. So, Vaughner has a really good one, and she throws in any count.
Line drive, right field, base hit. There's the first hit in the game for the Sooners on a line drive by Kinsey Hansen. And that's exactly what DJ Sanchez has been talking about.
Take the ball the other way. Kinsey Hansen was sitting in late rhythm and took a 68-mile-an-hour fastball to the opposite side of the field because she needed to be on time for the changeup. That is what is going to give the Sooners success. You've got to take everything that Vaughner throws opposite side of the field and turn on the off speed.
G3 digs in. And a rough at the plate for Lyons, who takes the first pitch low for ball 1 in the NCAA tournament. She hasn't had a hit yet in the Women's College World Series, but did score 2 runs here on a couple of walks Saturday against Tennessee. Oh, what a spot here for the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12 to break out. As she takes ball 2.
It's a good take, and you can see Kaneshiro pull it up.
Emily Young was frustrated at short on the call, but Kaneshiro is a Gold Glover for a reason. She's going to make every pitch look good. First and second for the Sooners, down 2-0 here early on a Monday. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3.
What an at-bat by Grace Lyons, and that pitch is low, and the Gold Glove catcher is making it look a lot better than it is.
There we go. Sooner fans come to life. 3 balls and no strikes. First and second, 1 out. 2-0 Sooner deficit. The pitch to Lyons. Ball 4. Bases loaded for Alina Torres.
What an at-bat. We've talked about how Grace has been struggling at the plate a little bit, but then she draws a huge walk like that. Love it.
We're going to have our first trip to the circle. Tori Nyberg, the Stanford pitching coach, who was also on that Women's College World Series team from Stanford with head coach Jessica Allister. And she is being pretty adamant right now in her conversations with Vaughner. It's not like they're bad pitches. They're not missing by much.
Their quality and the discipline. I mean, that discipline from Brito and Grace Lyons. Alyssa Brito had a tremendous at-bat, and that's what sort of got all of this going. But those are the pitches that Vodder's used to getting hitters to expand their zone and swing and get cheesy pop-ups and ground balls. So if they can continue to show that discipline and stay on time, I think they're going to get to Vodder pretty quick.
Here's Alina Torres. Base is loaded, 1 out. 2-zip, the Sooners trail it. The first pitch to Torres. There's a strike.
I will say this. I see some movement in the Stanford bullpen. It is not Nyjah Kennedy.
They've got a third pitcher that they feel really good about that we just haven't seen yet, and that's Reagan Krause. Sooners hit her hard when they saw her in February. 342 average for Torres. Takes ball 1, a little bit out. Went 1 for 2 with a run scored against Tennessee here on Saturday. 1 for 2 and started that 5th inning rally against Stanford here on Thursday. Sooners won that game against Stanford 2-zip. They trail this one 2-0, but have loaded the bases in the top of the 2nd inning. The pitch is popped up to right field. Will this be deep enough to score? Brito ranging over and making the catch. The throw is not in time. 2-1. Sac fly from Alina Torres. Smart base running at second from Hansen, who takes third. Good throw, by the way, from Caitlin Lim out in right field, but the speed of Brito was too much, and the Sooners have cut it in half.
And done on a pitch that she took to the opposite side of the field. You can just see OU gearing up for the off speed. What a great piece of hitting by Torres. And what I love right here, 1st and 3rd, Riley Boone put some pressure on the Stanford defense. Make them make a play.
Steele is drawn in a couple of steps at 3rd. Same for Schultz over at 1st. First pitch to Boone is in for a strike. Lyons still dancing around over at 1st. The 1st and 3rd situation is how we saw Tennessee score a run last night over Oklahoma State when Tuck threw one into center field that scored Zaina Pooney. No balls and a strike. The pitch to Boone. Strike 2.
I like the idea of the bunt there. We saw Sydney Steele, Stanford's third baseman, crash, but if she can carry it with her, and even back to Vodder. Vodder does not move extremely well off the mound.
Here's the 0-2 to Boone. Ball 1. Lyons is off to second, trying to draw a throw. Kaneshiro won't bite. You have a stolen base to G3, and there's runners now at 2nd and 3rd. But Boone is behind on the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Owasso product. Riley, 383 on the season. 5 stolen bases, and she asks for time and gets it.
As Stanford defensively, this tight of a game this early, you cannot just give up a stolen base without any sort of defensive plan.
There's ball 2. Boone is also riding a 6-game hitting streak. The only game in the postseason, including the Big 12 tournament, that she doesn't have a hit was the Hofstra game, the regional open.
Okay.
Here's the 2-2. Popped up, right side. Is there room? Racing towards the stairs. There is. Caught by Schultz, the first baseman, and that'll do it for the Sooners. But Oklahoma gets on the board.
2 hits.
Ray is in Surrey Hills. Tim Scripes in Lexington. Janet's in the dental chair today.
Yeah.
Oof. Shannon, Josh, and Rob walking the streets of D.C. Tom and Cindy Coleman in Arkansas. Kyle Davis, as always, keeping me on point with what proper day it is. Here's the 0-1. Grounded softly to 3rd. Brito up with it. Throws. Got it. 1 away. Better start than in the last. But before we remind you, those shout-outs coming up in the 3rd inning, so make sure you let us know where you're listening from at OU on the air. A huge shout-out to Anita at AMG Specialty Hospital in OKC. Her father is getting treatment today. Huge blessing. So thank you, Anita, and thanks for tuning in to Sooner Softball. Or maybe Angie's forcing you to listen to Sooner Softball today. Either way,
we'll take it.
First pitch to Eliak is a little bit out. And those of you who are getting your honeydew list done or the job like Dylan Morphew, who has checked in from Maysville while cutting hay today.
Oh, wow.
Not bad partners, Dylan, to help you get through your chores today. DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank, 2-1 the Sooners trail it. Here's a 1-0 to Eck, and she rips it foul towards that camera well.
It's a good pitch by Nicole May. We're starting to see her work off the plate a little bit more, and that's just what bit her in the first inning. And she was in good pitcher's counts, 0-2 on, I think, every single hitter she faced in the first. But job's not done, 0-2. You've got to throw competitive and quality pitches in 2-strike counts. But you're starting to see Nicole May, even early in counts, work off the zone a little bit.
1-1 is a bunt right back to May. Catches it out of midair for the second out of the inning.
You get the feeling of a little bit of a momentum shift here. Stanford came out hot in the first. Sooners chip away and get one in the bottom of the inning. Nicole May, 2 quick outs, you gotta love it, to answer and get this Sooner team back in the dugout.
2 away. River Mailer has had a challenging postseason, to say the least. Freshman swings through strike 1. Her mom, by the way, was part of the 2000 and, her mom was part of the national championship team at Washington that Heather Tarr played on. Somehow they let her get to Stanford, but it has been a struggle for Mailer in the postseason. She swings through strike 2. You might see her batting average at .354, but she is just 1 for 18 in the NCAA tournament.
And still hitting .354. Right?
She has walked 7 times, but has 9 strikeouts. Can Nicole May give her 10th? The 0-2. Swing and a miss! Got her! Swinging, inning over. Big time bounce back from Nicole May as we head to the bottom of top of the third inning. It's shout-out time. Energy is 11:48 a.m. on a Monday, and this place is packed with Sooner fans. Join the Trophy Club today. Go to Soonersports.com/Trophy Club, the ultimate fan support group for Oklahoma Sooners softball. Here's Jada Cole, lined out to first base in the first inning. Let's see what adjustments she'll make the second time through against Potter, who pounds the zone with strike 1.
And we saw the adjustment in the bottom half of this lineup last inning with the changeup and the off-speed. Top 3 hitters of this lineup, Coleman, Jennings, Lee, all 3 were outs on changeup. So expect to see some later touch.
0-1 is hammered. Deep to right field. We're tied. We're tied. We're tied. Jada Coleman hits a bomb over the right center field wall. And just like that, the Sooners bounce back, and it's 2-2 in the top of the third inning.
That's an adjustment, Jada Coleman. And just working absolutely on time, on cue. And that was a fastball at 68 miles an hour, and Jada Coleman launched it to the deepest part of the field. And drop ball, went down and got it. What a great piece of hitting by Jada Coleman. And just like that,
chalk up home run number 17 on the season for Jada Coleman. It's 2-2. And here's Tiare Jennings' first pitch. Drops in for a strike. They have made the adjustment. Now they need to keep adding to it. Second home run of the postseason. Make it the third. This is bounced to third. Nice play by Steele on the short hop. Throws across. Jennings is retired on a hard hit ball to third. 1 away. Here's Haley Lee.
It's a pretty good play by Steele. Kind of took a short hop on her, and she just kind of stayed through it and down in it. It's a good, underrated play by Sydney Steele.
Here's Haley Lee, popped out to the catcher to end the first inning, looking for her first Women's College World Series hit, and she takes ball 1. By the way, quick shout out before we go in depth after Haley Lee. Buddy Kelly Collier and the whole SSP crew watching and listening in from Headington Hall. 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. 1-1. Kelly and his crew do an incredible job. So A, I need to make sure to read all our liner cards today. And B, Bob, I need a Love's card. This is not a short trip to OKC from Goldsby every day. Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway, proud sponsors of Sooner softball, as the 1-1 pitch misses low, 2-1.
Now, we've seen Vaughter throw the changeup in the off-speed in the dirt and miss with it a couple times. If OU can take the off-speed away, it's going to get ugly for Vaughter. Not that she doesn't have good stuff. She's an All-American, for goodness sake. But that changeup is what makes her so effective. If we can get that gone.
Well, the 2-1 pitch misses out, ball 3.
Not positions that Elena Vaughter's used to being in. She's walked 2 hitters in this game already, and it only walked less than 30 coming into this game.
3 balls and a strike. The pitch, strike 2. Haley Lee tried to sell that, took a step towards first base, but takes the off speed. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's 2-2. Sooners have rallied from a 2-zip deficit to tie this game up. We haven't seen either one of the stars from Thursday night in the circle yet. The 3-2 is grounded back to Vaughter. Not a good swing, or maybe more specifically, not a good piece of bat on that. And there's 2 away. Here's Brito.
Sometimes Vaughter threw a 3-1 changeup and a 3-2 changeup back-to-back. And the Sooners in this lineup who have had success are sitting late. Haley Lee needs to make that adjustment as well.
2 away for Alyssa Brito, who walked to lead off the second inning and started the solid second inning run for the Sooners. Scored a run as well.
And what a huge walk that was. I mean, a good at-bat, saw a lot of pitches.
First pitch, in for a strike.
If I look back at the second inning, you've got Alyssa Brito's walk and Grace Lyons' walk, and they were both instrumental in that inning of finding a way to push a run across.
2-2 game, top of the third inning. Sooners are the visitors today in game 1. The 0-1 is fouled off the foot, I believe, of Brito. Ooh, actually right off her shin guard, that Evo shield she wears on her foot. And that shot back towards the circle.
That's a good pitch. So many off-speed pitches that we've seen from Vaughter, and I've talked about it a ton, but that screwball ran right in on Alyssa Brito's hands. I would be expecting the off-speed or something at least down and out, trying to change the timing again.
No balls and 2 strikes. This has been a good count for Stanford. Maybe it can become one for OU. Line drive, foul down the left field. 2 runs now on 2 hits for the Sooners. The solo home run by Jada Coleman in the line drive, second inning base hit by Kinsey Hansen. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Vaughter gets swinging, inning over. Good bounce back by Elena Vaughter, who's Drake Dykin, a member of the Sooner Radio Network, is tuned in today. My man Doug in Hockley, Texas. Doug Hamilton, a lot of representation from Hockley, Texas today. And a big thanks to Melissa Unsel and Brody, tuned in East Ulm, Illinois, as Taylor Gindelsberger leads things off. Fouls it back to us.
That's
Here's
us.
the chant. Oh, just short.
Should have laid out.
So yesterday I was calling the Westwood 1 game. They're a booth over from us, Ryan Radke and Leah Amico. Leah hasn't given me any dirty looks yet from Oklahoma breaking their record. But we had a ball that hit, you can see the mark, DJ, right on the window up top.
Oh, yeah.
I could have reached up and probably made a play, but there's a good chance I would have broke my hand.
That sounds like an excuse to me, Plain.
It does. Gindelsberger takes strike 2. But this is the exact same spot that she was in the first inning when she took an 0-2 pitch between Sanders and Jennings on the right side of the Sooner infield.
And this is where you want to see May make the adjustment. She did it back in the second and throwing better pitches, but this is the top of the lineup.
And an 0-2 pitch is lifted to left field, but good news, Riley Boone is there, and there's 1 away.
That's a better pitch. And you can see Gindelsberger actually put a defensive swing on it. It was a rise ball right above her letters. Worked through the zone. That's a quality pitch from Nicole May.
Joel is in Rogersville, Tennessee today. Zane, Jane, Rick, the dogs, and cats checking in for North Huntington, Pennsylvania. Jay and Val in Norman. Dwayne Maxey's got us synced up in Bixby, and Joe is working from the home office in Goldsby. I won't tell anyone, Joe. First pitch is up high, ball 1 to Emily Young. Nicole May has righted herself after a tough first inning where she gave up a 2-out, 0-2 home run to Kylie Chung. She is now retired 5 straight Stanford Cardinal, and the Sooners have rallied to tied at 2. Foul tip. Ooh, just got out of the mitt.
Nicole May showing that she's got the off speed too. That's a good pitch. She hasn't had to use it much, but going through the Stanford lineup the second time, she's going to have to start distorting timing.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Bottom of the third. Yes, we'll remind you a lot, even though they're the lower seeded, Stanford is the home team here today. If we play a second, the Sooners will be. 1-1 misses low to him. I've got the why of the explanation for the home versus visitors that we can get into a little later if you want.
You know my thoughts on this.
It's the higher seeded team to be the home team?
Yes, every time. That's a perk, right? We call those perks.
2 balls and a strike. May brings it home. Ooh, that just missed. 3-1. Well, after tying this game, you don't want to walk any batters, especially with Kylie Chung due up if Stanford gets a base runner here in the bottom of the third. I'd like for her to hit with no one on base with as hot as she's been in clutch situations for Stanford. Here's the 3-1. Line drive, right center field. Coleman races over, makes the catch. Made it look easy. 2 away. My gosh, what a weapon she is in center field.
No fly zone. Isn't that what they say?
No fly zone, that's right.
Well, and it's immediate. Something hard off the bat like that. That was hit well. And
scared me off the bat, not going to lie.
Emily Young got extended. It was not a bad pitch, but I'd like to see a better pitch from Nicole May. But she was able to get extended, and it was immediate. And it wasn't just Jada Coleman. We also had Torres gone off the bat. So they just get such great jumps.
Here's Ali Kaneshiro. She grounded out to third in the first. And there's Nicole May pounding the zone for strike 1. 2-2 game. OU wins. They're off to the championship series on Wednesday. If they lose, we'll turn around and play 45 minutes after the conclusion of this game. 0-1 misses out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I like that location. Kinsey Hansen trying to bring it back in, but that's a good curveball. Just trying to get Kaneshiro to extend the zone into the other batter's box. I like that pitch.
1 ball and a strike. May rocks and fires. Off the inside corner, strike 2.
I like that 1-1 pitch so much, or that 1-0 pitch so much, because it sets up the screwball just like that. You get Kaneshiro leaning, and then Freezer with the screwball inside.
1 ball, 2 strikes. May brings it home. Ooh, just missed. Kinsey Hansen, much like Kaneshiro has done behind the plate, made that look a little better than it was. Count is even up at 2 apiece. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Same as the score.
A lot of 2s.
A lot of deuces. They would say deuces wild is what the kids say out here.
I don't play enough cards.
Me neither. The 2-2 pitch is fouled right off Hansen. Oof. And our home plate umpire, Dustin Douglas, does a solid here for Hansen. Says, I've got you. Walks the ball back out to Nicole May while she recovers.
Hansen's taken a couple today in this game already.
Two balls and 2 strikes. The scoreboard says 3 strikes. Let's hope they're right. Now they fixed it. They're sharp down there in the press box. The 2-2. Pulled strike 3. Oh, they could see the future. They could see the future. Inning over. That's the 3rd strikeout for Nicole May, and a pretty big so much for tuning in. As Oklahoma heads to the 4th, Sid Sanders will lead things off in a game that's tied at 2. First pitch to Sid is in for a strike. I forgot to say a special thank you to Melissa Cole, who is listening on a flight.
Hey.
Well done, Mel. Best of luck in Cincinnati. And I haven't talked enough about the fact that it is Tiare Jennings' birthday. That's what
21.
I'm saying. How about that?
21.
Neil Shadid also tuned in from the beach today as the 0-1 misses high. The Shadid family has started tuning in from the beach on their trips, and we don't stop winning. So we'll just stay at the beach, Emil. Stay at the beach, fam. Sid, her last time up as a strikeout victim. 1-1. She had a big cut there, but it was way out in front of it on that 54-mile-an-hour change.
That was it's going to be a changeup, and I'm going to swing as hard as I can because she was on time. She just flat out missed it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Ball outside, 2-2.
That's really good discipline because that is a really good location. But it hasn't been a strike all day. I'll say that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 game. What do we say? Deuce is wild last inning?
Yes, Deuce is wild. We're card connoisseurs now.
That's right. The pitch to Sanders. Pop foul and out of play.
Glad to see Sydney Sanders get rid of that pitch. It was an off-speed again. Vaughter has thrown multiple off-speed pitches in every single at-bat. So you know it's coming, and it's sitting in that late timing. You have to sit late and foul it off and hit something hard to the other side of the field or up the middle.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Sanders. Popped up. Center field. Gindelsberger under it, makes the catch. That ball was a mile high. Let's pause 10 seconds for all of our great affiliates to identify themselves. You're listening to Sooner Softball from Learfield.
ESPN. For more information and game times, go to NC.
KRXO FM and KRXO HD Oklahoma City, a product of Tyler Media, your flagship station for Oklahoma Sooner Sports. 107.7, The Franchise.
Producer back in the Learfield studios. Thank you all for tuning in on a work day on a Monday. National semifinal day. First pitch to Kinsey Hansen is line foul down the left field line and into the stands. Hansen singled in the second. Sooners loaded the bases, got a run on a sac fly from Alina Torres, and then a leadoff home run by Jada Coleman. That's countered the 2-run first inning 0-2 pitch home run from Kylie Chung. And knotted up at 2. Hansen calls for time. Got it. So Kinsey now continues this incredible run at the plate. Season average up to 414. She takes ball 1 up and away.
Well, she's done it too in some of the most impactful situations. I mean, some of the most high pressure situations. It's really been fun to watch. I mean, she has just gone on an absolute tear.
She went through an 0-for-6 stretch between the Tulsa, OSU, and Iowa State games. Her average dropped to 393 as she takes strike 2. Since that point, she's only been held hitless in 1 game, and that was the Stanford game, where she went 0 for 2. 2 for 5 now in the World Series. The 1-2 is grounded foul. One of those 2 home runs is a home run that was lasered right over the left center field wall. I guess you could argue that it was maybe more towards center field if you want to be exact.
Either way, it was a shot.
It's one of the fastest home runs I've ever seen get out of the park. Here's a line drive to the right side, base hit again. Oh, it's dropped in right field by Lim, but she recovers quickly off the hop, and Kinsey Hansen is 2 for 2.
Textbook. You want to get rid of the off-speed pitch, that is how you approach it. You could see Hansen the entire at-bat, working and fouling off anything that came in hard and sitting late, which is why you saw her take the off-speed to the opposite side of the field. Beautiful piece of hitting.
Here's Grace Lyons. Boy, it'd be good to see Grace get her first hit of the World Series here. She walked on 4 pitches her last time up and takes ball 1 here.
And proved to be a big-time walk, but it looks like we're going to have a conversation here with Elena Vaughter.
Might be haven't seen Kennedy warm up. She threw the entire game yesterday. Just 95 pitches in her complete game one hitter. We saw Reagan Krause warming up, but this does not look to be a pitching change here at all.
No, and I'm sure that the Twitter world and social media world is going, Stanford, bring in Kennedy. Here's the deal. Votter's a senior. She has the experience. She's an All-American. And if I'm Stanford, I'm holding Kennedy as long as possible because you find a way, if you're Stanford, to get the W here, you've got to beat him again. You can't show all your cards this early. So if we see Kennedy, it's going to be late, and it's going to be Stanford with a lead.
Meeting over, ready to go. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It hit her right on the leg.
You know what you do when you're in a little bit of a slump? Draw walks and get plunked. She's finding her way on base. That's all that matters.
How about this note on Lions now? She's 0 for 6, or pardon me, she's 0 for 3 in the Women's College World Series, but now has reached base 4 straight plate appearances.
Finding a way.
Finding a way. Here's Alina Torres, has the only RBI so far. Pardon me, one of 2 RBIs so far. On the sac fly to right field. She bats here with runners at first and second and 1 out. First pitch from Vaughter. Torres takes it low, ball 1.
Grace Lyons is playing Moneyball right now. Your job's to be on first base. I don't care how you do it. Your job's to be on base.
One ball, no strikes. First and second, 1 out. Sooners looking to take their first lead of the game. The pitch to Torres. A little bit up, ball 2.
It's discipline right there. That's that pitch we've seen get popped up a lot. Great discipline by Torres.
Stanford does have activity in their pen, and it is Kennedy. How about that?
Especially, I mean, yeah.
2-0 is ball 3.
As the game gets deeper, you're going to have to go to Kennedy because then you're riding the got to keep it in check.
And here comes Kennedy down from the pin. Between that 3-0 pitch, or that last pitch and this one, Kennedy has moved from the bullpen to the dugout. There's strike 1. She took a lot off that to get it in the zone. 54 miles an hour.
I think the biggest thing that the Sooners have done well off of Vaughter is make her throw deep into counts. I've said it a lot. She doesn't walk many hitters. She's walked Grace Lyons once and hit her once. Walked Alyssa Brito. So they're making her get a little uncomfortable out there. You can see it.
Here's the 3-1. Strike 2. Now Torres got to be ready. Sophia Nugent has moved into the on-deck spot. Quincy Lilio has popped out of the Sooner dugout to try to lead the cheers, make sure everybody's on the same page here.
So important for Torres to stick with the game plan. Work late on this pitch. Expect the off-speed.
3-2 is grounded to third. They'll tag the bag, throw across, inning over. What a play by Steele as Torres in a promising spot for the Sooners grounds into a double play to end the inning. Just east of the stadium and moving this way, the NCAA and OU Emergency Management are monitoring it closely. It's still a gorgeous sunny day. 2-2 game, bottom of the 4th. Here's Kylie Chong, her 2-run first inning home run. The only run so far for Stanford as she takes ball 1 high. Stanford had 3 hits in the first inning, and Nicole May hasn't allowed a base runner since. She has retired 7 straight. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
She settled in well. I feel like you could see a few nerves, which was why it was also so important for Nicole May to get into the game against Tennessee the other day. Because we saw it there too. She walked about her and then settled in a little bit, but we're finally starting to see Nicole May settle in.
Here's the 1-1. A little bit out and up. 2 balls and a strike.
But as this game gets deeper, I'm making a prediction here. I'm going to expect that we see Kennedy in the 5th for Stanford. I don't think that they're going to let Vaughter go through the lineup again. And if there's any sign of trouble for Nicole May as this game goes on, we're going to see Jordy Ball.
Who is not working at any feverish pace right now as the 2-1 pitch is right over that outer edge for strike 2.
I'll still say, though, Stanford's a good matchup for Kirsten Deal.
You've said that all day long. Yep. All the left-handed bats. Maybe if the Sooners can get a couple-run lead, you might see that. Oklahoma had a golden scoring opportunity in the top of the 4th. Go by the wayside. The 2-2 is a hard hit ball. Cut off at third by Brito. Throws across. Got it.
That's a play.
Brito off a hop. Makes the play. 1 away. Chung is retired.
It's a good off-speed pitch. Good to see Nicole May pulling that out of her pocket and starting to use it as she's going through this lineup the second time.
You go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, Alyssa Brito did a good job taking that out of the 5-6 hole.
Absolutely. Look for a moment like they might let it roll deep to Grace Lyons, but nice play as the lefty Emily Schultz digs in. She singled on an 0-2 pitch her first time up and takes ball 1. If you want to know who's doing a whole lot for the state of Oklahoma, look no further than the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas for contributing billions to education, funding medical research, and supporting the arts. They are deeply invested in the well-being of our state. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch to Schultz. Hard hit to short. Lyons smooth. Throws. Got it. 2 away. That ball was just skimming across the dirt. Almost looked like Schultz was skipping a penny. 2 away for Caitlin Lim.
Nicole May finding her groove.
Our buddy Richard Martis had sent us a note that said it seems like May gets better as the game goes on. This is the second time through the lineup for Stanford as well, and she's made the necessary adjustments as here's a pop-up on a first pitch swing from Lim right to Grace Lyons, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Club. Learn more at trailsgolf.com. Before we start the 5th inning, DJ, let's talk a little bit about the bottom of the 4th and Nicole May. What an adjustment she's made here today.
She's throwing good pitches, and she went from having these Stanford hitters who were aggressive and taking confident swings to now having them off balance, and we're seeing a lot more defensive swings. That inning was quick, and it makes you feel as if the Sooners are about to potentially break something open here.
Riley Boone popped out to first to end the 2nd inning. She's 0 for 1, and she tried to slap at that, kind of put a little chop swing on it and missed it for strike 1.
I really get the feeling here, though, regardless of the outcome between Vaughter and Riley Boone, I think this is Vaughter's last hitter. I really do.
Kennedy went from the bullpen to the dugout. Last half inning. Here's the 0-1 line drive back up the middle, base hit. Oh, Riley Boone does it again. And that was smoked, and you called it, DJ Sanchez. Here comes Jessica Allister, and we're going to see Nigeri Kennedy.
Riley Boone, just like she always does. Best 9-hole hitter in the country, no question. But you could just feel it. Riley Boone had a single off Kennedy in game 1, but they weren't going to let Vaughter face Jada again, even if she had struck out Riley Boone.
True base hit. And it was the fewest runs for the Sooners in a tournament game since 2019 when they lost to Alabama 1-0. Here we go. The Topeka, Kansas product, Nigeri Kennedy. Against Jada Coleman with a runner at first and nobody out in a tie game, top of the 5th. First pitch, Jada had a cut, missed it, strike 1.
It was a hack.
72-mile-an-hour rise ball. She doesn't change speeds very much, but that ball moves.
It moves, and a rise ball is not just a rise ball. It's not. You see so many pitchers that throw a rise ball, but they're working to throw it at different levels. Had Jada not swung at that pitch, it was going to be a called strike.
0-1 is popped up. Shallow center field. Gindelsberger races in and makes the catch. And there is 1 away for Tiare Jennings.
You see the frustration from Jada. She slammed the bat. But again, the game plan has now changed, and as they were sitting in late rhythm trying to take away the changeup from Vaughter, who threw it about every third pitch. Now you've got to speed yourself back up and get on time, but you have to zone down. If you're going to go for the rise ball, you have got to zone in on that low rise that she's trying to work from the knee to the letters.
First pitch to Jennings is a wild pitch off the glove of Kaneshiro, and off to second goes Boone.
It's where the Sooners need to take advantage of the mistake and find a way to manufacture a run here off of Kennedy.
Jennings is 0 for 2 today. It's her 21st birthday. Center fielder Gindelsberger is shallow. The 1-0 is in for a strike.
Shallow and playing the pool a little bit. If I've got a pitcher that throws mid-70s, I'm not playing the pool, I can tell you that much.
This is as shallow as I've seen any outfield play Tiare Jennings. Lehman right, Gindelsberger in center, Eck in left. She had a cut, fouled that back. A ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good hack.
Patty Gasso called the Thursday game one of the most stressful games she'd been a part of. And the young lady in the circle, Najee Kennedy, is the reason why. Here's the 1-2. It's an off-speed, and Jennings swung right through it. 50 miles an hour. What did she pull that out of? 2 away.
It's still, and I know she just struck out one of the best hitters in the country on a changeup. It was not deceptive, but you know that the game plan was not to sit on change. It wasn't, and she had to find a way to do something. She was sitting heat. She was sitting rise ball. So what a pitch call. What a confident pitch, but it still didn't have that deception. She can't throw it that often.
First pitch to Haley Lee is a little bit up, ball 1. Kennedy can't believe it. Sooners have a runner in scoring position. Jada Coleman popped out. Tiare Jennings struck out, and Riley Boone stands at second after her leadoff single. And now the insertion of Najee Kennedy into the circle. Here's the 1-0 to Haley Lee. That's in for a strike, 1-1.
And that's a rise ball that's working knee to the top part of the zone. It's not a screwball. It's an inside rise ball that she's throwing low through the zone. It's such a great pitch. So hard to teach, so hard to execute well.
The 1-1. Pop foul down the right side. That's going to be well out of play. Seeing Kennedy, she's been really good all year. She was the freshman of the year in college softball. But there is kind of this, if I can use an OU baseball analogy, like a Cade Horton feel, where Cade developed that breaking ball last year for the Sooners, and if Kennedy develops this changeup, look out. It could be really dangerous the rest of the way for the Sooners. Here's the 1-2. Miss low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And there it was again.
57 miles an hour.
But again, the deception out of the hand. I'm not saying that the speed change is dramatic, but the deception out of her hand, you can see her slow down on the backside of her circle a little bit. So if she's going to throw it, she's got to throw it out of the zone and try to catch these hitters off balance. But
2-2 is popped to shallow left field, falling fast, but racing in is Eck to make the catch and ending the inning. Haley Lee got jammed a bit. Kennedy sets down the Sooners in order after the leadoff.
You know what you need to improve on. You know Najee Kennedy is getting told, we got to get that change up a little better. And I probably sound very critical of it because it's not a terrible pitch, but it's not a good pitch. And I know, you see the speed change, but you can read it out of her hand. So she's got to be careful with it, but...
First pitch ball to Sydney Steele as Nicole May goes back to work. The throwing Jordy Ball has done in the pen has subsided for now for the Sooners.
I guess if I'm Stanford and you know how good of an off-speed Vaughter has, the Sooners figured that out. So if she hangs a changeup in a count, the Sooners are going to make her pay big time on it.
The 1-0 is in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. What's interesting is, had the Sooners been in a position where they could have continued their top of the 4th rally when Torres grounded into the double play, Sophia Nugent was in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. There's a pop-up. Alyssa Brito calls off Nicole May, who was ready to make the play. And there's one away. Nicole May is a former corner infielder. She can play first. She can play third. Any ball that goes up in the air, she's ready to make the play.
She is, but
we don't need her to.
You don't need her to. You got Alyssa Brito and Sydney Sanders, but gotta love it. You gotta love athletic pitchers, plain and simple.
Here's Elliott. Just a 147 average on the season for X. She popped out to May in her first at bat, and she swings through strike one, a 64-mile-an-hour rise. River Mailer is not in the on-deck circle. This is a move that we saw last night. The 0-1. Ooh, that just missed.
It's a good spot.
One ball and one strike.
Well, you said it too, Plank. River Mailer's had a really tough postseason at the plate, and she did not look good off of Nicole May back in the second. Just three really uncompetitive swings, really.
Yeah, Malinado is in the on-deck circle. There's a pop-up behind home plate. Hansen found it late, but in time to make the catch. And there's two away.
Nicole May getting a ton of pop-ups.
Is that good?
Yes, it's great. I mean, she's taking advantage of some holes in these Stanford swings. You know, because when you start seeing hard ground balls eventually turn into line drives, which eventually turn into base hits. But she's really getting some good pop-outs, especially from the bottom half of this Stanford lineup.
Now, Ella Nato, who is pinch hitting here, Ella Nato, did I say that right?
Sure. I'll roll with it.
Is only hitting .077 on the season. The at-bat she had against Washington here last night in pinch hitting for Mailer was her first plate appearance since May 5th. And in that plate appearance, she was just a pinch runner on March 6th. Her last plate appearance was April 29th against Arizona State. So Nato got the opportunity last night. Is maybe Jessica Allister playing a bit of a hunch, but she ended up grounding out. So see another opportunity today. Had some good cuts. First pitch, strike. And we should mention, because I was talking about Nato, Jen Rocha sprinted out when she saw Nato coming up to the plate to say something to Nicole May.
It probably had something to do with she's not even hitting 100 throw strikes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kind of not kidding. But no, just go right after the hitter in the 9 slot especially.
The 0-1 pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But one thing you love, and one thing kind of to attest to why these pitchers are successful, is the game plans. And you know Rocha was going out because they've had a game plan in case they face Nato as well. So just kind of sticking with and making sure that Nicole May knows Nato's holes.
The 1-1 pitch misses a little bit up. 2 balls and a strike. That's a really good point, and it shows you the thorough nature of the scouting that Oklahoma does. As a fan, I might look at it and say, she's hitting .77, throw it right by her, but every hitter is dangerous, especially at this level. The 2-1 fouled off. See, good cuts. She had good cuts here last night in the win over Washington.
No, you can't take a pitch off, you can't take an at-bat off, and you have to be laser focused in everything that you're doing, because one swing of the bat can change the entire dynamic of a game. So, I mean, Nato's hitting well below the Mendoza line, but still have to have that approach and game plan and throw quality pitches.
2 balls and 2 strikes. May rocks, fires, missed high, full count. Home Walker. We mentioned she's only had 2 hits the entire season. Her last hit came on April 26th against Fresno State. The 3-2 from May is popped up into center field. Jada Coleman is under it, makes the catch, and that'll do it for Stanford in the 5th.
Be aggressive, but you also have to be aggressive in a smart way. Because you can't just swing wildly early in the count because that rise ball is so deadly. So be aggressive and give that urgency, but you still have to be in control of what you're doing and read the pitches down. Get on top of that low rise ball and turn it into a line drive.
Brito walked and struck out in this game. First pitch swinging, pops this one to the right side, but into the camera well. If there wasn't the camera well down the first baseline, maybe Emily Schultz would have been able to make a play on it. Oklahoma would like to thank the official Eat Play Stay partners. Visit Norman, Pop, Courtyard by Marriott, Midway Deli, Nashburn, and Norman NCED. Visit Soonersports.com for more information.
And one thing you feel like that we should start seeing is ground balls. If the Sooners can start hitting some ground balls off of Kennedy, you're going to start seeing the adjustment.
The 0-1 is a good cut, fouled straight back. And remember, one thing Coach Gasso said on Thursday during her conversation with ESPN is you celebrate all the little things. She just, usually it's just home runs and base hits, but hard hit outs are something we've got to make sure that we realize that's a big plate appearance / a bat for you. 0-2 pitch off speed, just got a piece of it to stay alive. And you're right, DJ. I am by no means anywhere near an expert on anything in life except how to raise chickens that don't lay eggs. But you can easily see when Kennedy's going to that off-speed pitch.
I think
everything slows down.
Yeah, but I think the thing is too is you can see the Sooners aren't geared up for it. They're not. They're focused on the speed.
That 0-2 just missed. I mean, that just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our buddy Jerry Isbell has checked in. Coach Gasso talking to ESPN about adjusting to the changeup. You can look for different speeds. You've got to pick it. And that's what you're seeing right now. And on Nicole May talked about her composure.
Yep.
Team showing they had her back after falling behind 2-0. Sooners have rallied to tie this game at 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Brito. It hit her. It hit her. Brito will head down to first base. She spikes the bat. As she cheers on her dugout, the Sooners put the leadoff hitter aboard for the 3rd time in 6 innings. And here's Sid Sanders. Just got her right on the Evo shield. Barely.
Yeah, not by much. And Brito finding a way on after a ball called on a 2-strike count that was really close.
Sanders shows bunt, pulls it back, takes strike 1.
I'm gonna be honest here. That was further in than the pitch we just saw called a ball to Alyssa Brito. I'm not mad about it because Brito's on first base as opposed to in the dugout. But what I don't like about it is the zone has to be consistent. Like, she pulls back on that. Sydney Sanders pulls back on it because it hasn't been a strike. It wasn't a strike 4 pitches ago.
The 0-1, and quickly Sanders falls behind. No balls and 2 strikes, as that is absolute gas. Kennedy did not start this game. Vaughter did. Kennedy, since she has come out of the pen after the leadoff single to Riley Boone in the 5th, done a good job. The 0-2 is a little bit up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good discipline, reading it out of the hand, seeing it up. Really would love to see Sydney Sanders find a way to get on top and try to use the dirt here. Get the ball out of the air. If it's in the air, leave the yard. but get the ball on the ground.
1-2. Had a cut. Fouled it straight back. She was right on that 72-mile-an-hour pitch. 2-2 game. Getting late in Oklahoma City. Sooners trying to avoid that if necessary game. Stanford trying to force it. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Sid Sanders. Off speed, got her swing.
And you can see on that pitch, Sydney Sanders recognized it. You could see her try to reload, but I mean, she just flat out missed it. But you can see on the swing, she recognized it. She just missed it.
Here's Kinsey Hansen. Lions waits on deck. Brito stands at first. Hansen has been the most consistent performer at the plate for the Sooners this postseason. First pitch, a little bit in. Ball one.
I'm confused on that pitch because the pitch to Sydney Sanders when she showed bunt was further in and it was a strike. I'm not complaining from a pitcher standpoint, but from a hitter standpoint, you've got to know what is a strike and what isn't. The zone can't change batter to batter.
1 ball and no strikes. The pitch to Hansen swings and tips it right into the mitt. And Kaneshiro for strike 1. Hansen's only game in the NCAA tournament where she didn't have a hit was against Stanford on Thursday. And against Canada, she's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles to right field here today. The 1-1. Foul straight back. Good cut, a ball and 2 strikes. Grace Lyons waits on deck as we mentioned. She's had 4 straight plate appearances where she's reached base. 3 walks and a hit by pitch.
Finding a way on. I think you were talking about how deadly Hansen's bat has been in the postseason, and she's hitting in the 6th hole. And what's awesome is she's able to sort of be that spark for the bottom half of this lineup.
The 1-2, foul straight back. I'm going to get my OERB home run card ready.
I like where your head's at. Just got a feeling.
I wish I could say that. I could say I could sit here and almost guarantee it, but I don't think I can. I don't think there is a such thing as a guarantee in life.
Taxes,
a guarantee. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kinsey Hansen with Brito at first. The 1-2 pitch up high, 2-2.
It's a good take. And you could feel Hansen's fouled off 2 rise balls, and you knew if Kennedy was going to throw another, that it was going to continue to climb that ladder. That's really good discipline by Hansen. I'll say this. I'd be afraid to throw that low rise to Hansen again because you get the feeling that she's starting to get the timing of getting on top of the ball. So she better be careful. But a lot of movement there. Maybe a changeup.
Time is called before the pitch, just to kind of give you an idea. That time is very controversial, and in fact, Jessica Allister comes out of the dugout and is giving the home plate umpire a piece of his mind. And now they're going to give Allister a warning.
I don't blame Allister for being ticked. You could see, and we were actually talking about in the break of how quickly Kennedy works. I don't blame Allister for being ticked. I really don't. You could see Kennedy getting ready to break, and really, I'm glad he gave Hansen time, but he's not supposed to, I don't think. Really.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That brought both fan bases to their feet. The pitch to Hansen. Got her swinging, and Kennedy is all kinds of fired up in the circle, as you might imagine, and there's 2 away.
It's just a battle, and she got Hansen on the rise ball. Now here's my question, and I'm saying this because Brito's on first base, spiked to the bat after the hit by pitch.
Right.
Are people going to be as upset about Kennedy stomping 4 feet in front of, and I love it, I'm not upset about it, but are people going to be ticked that Kennedy just showed up Kinsey Hansen on a strikeout? Same, right? Same thing.
Oklahoma.
Same thing.
G3 was hit by a pitch her last time up, first pitch, and she had a cut, fouled it straight back for strike 1. Allister got the warning. We haven't seen a coach thrown out of a College World Series game in a minute.
Lisa Fernandez.
Lisa Fernandez as a pitching coach did, I believe, in 16 or 17? Arguing a call at home plate from the first base coach's box. The 0-1 hangs up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. That the change it was.
Yeah, change with some rise ball spin on it. That's a dangerous pitch right there. But again, you can see anytime she throws that off speed, you can see these OU hitters recognize it almost immediately, even though they're not hitting it well yet.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Kennedy. Swing and a miss. Grace whipped on the rise. Strike 2. No movement over at first, by the way, at all from Alyssa Brito. After the leadoff hit by pitch, Sooners have been so good with 2 outs all season long. Lions add to it. Hammer deep to left field, but that's well foul. She was way out in front of it. And that was 71 miles an hour.
You can just see the angle on Grace Lyons on these swings, even on the foul ball. It's that upward angle. Going to get pop flies out of that usually, so need to change that angle. Try to get on top of the ball.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch to G3. Got her swing and inning over. Kennedy all kinds of fired up, as you might expect in the circle. So was Kaneshiro. Oklahoma's got some work to do to figure out Kennedy. But they need Nicole May to stay strong. That's back-to-back-to-back Ks.
And KRXO HD Oklahoma City, a product of Tyler Media, your flagship station for Oklahoma Sooner Sports. 107.7, The Franchise.
Gindelsberger grounds one back up the middle under the glove of T.R.A. Jennings and into center field. It's a leadoff single on a play that, even if Jennings makes it, was going to be close at first.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Even had Jennings come up with that, it took her so far up the middle, and Gindelsberger runs so well, that probably would have been an infield single regardless of if Jennings had made a great play. And here comes Coach Gasso.
Well, will we see Jordy Ball here? I think we will. This is the moment in the game last night where Stanford secured its spot in this national semifinal on a leadoff single by Taylor Gindelsberger, who stole second and scored on Kylie Chung's RBI single. Oklahoma will turn to Jordy Ball. Actually, they had Ella Nato. Oh, she came in a pinch ran. Emily Young went 1 for 3 against Jordy. So
you get the feeling Stanford here, they're going to be doing anything they can to get Gindelsberger in scoring position.
9 for 9 on stolen base opportunities by Gindelsberger this year. Is this a bunt situation for Young? First pitch, no. She takes the ball low and in.
It should be. It really should. You're in the 6th inning. Stanford hasn't really shown that they're stringing things together too much. At least give yourself a couple opportunities with the could-be winning run in scoring position. Give yourself a shot.
1 ball and no strikes. Jordy swings that arm, puts it in the glove, grabs the ball. Young is 0 for 2 today and rips one fair down the third baseline. They'll hold Gindelsberger at second. It's back-to-back hits for the first time from Stanford since the first inning. Now, I think, in Ali Kaneshiro, you're definitely in a situation where you're going to see the bunt.
You have to. Nobody out. First and second now. I don't know what type of bunter Kaneshiro is, but you've got to sacrifice at this point. At least if she is any sort of bunter, which you would think she should be.
First pitch is grounded back to Ball. They'll go to third and get the force out. What a way! They bounced it right back to Jordy, who even struggled getting the ball out of her glove for a moment, but threw to third, and they cut down the lead runner.
Thanks. That's why you bunt. And I'm not mad at it. You know, I mean, but that's why you bunt right there.
Jessica Allister is going to slow things down here and bring in a pinch runner. So as Kylie Chung digs in, she has the home run in this game today. Stanford will go with Emily Jones. Where is she pinch running, though? Is she going to first or second? They're going to send her to second. So Emily Jones will run for Emily Young.
Number 18, Emily Jones.
I still will never know why Jessica Allister chose not to bunt there, but will take it. Kylie Chung is 1 for 2 with the 2-run home run. She had the essential game-winning RBI last night, the only RBI in that game, as the first pitch from Jordy is in for a strike.
Yeah, you bunt in that situation, you've got Chung up who could lift a fly ball for a sacrifice fly. You just have so many options. I'm glad they didn't, but if you're Stanford, you're going to go back to that and go at least attempt it. Do something different.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Jordy Ball. Checked her swing on a pitch up. Did she go? No. We'll check with the first base umpire. Mike Burwell said she did not. Bottom of the 6th, 2-2 game. Oklahoma and Stanford. Kind of had a feeling this was going to be a dogfight. Jordy stalks in the circle. Now approaches the rubber. Runners at first and second. This is the best scoring threat for the Cardinals since the first inning. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt, good job by Hansen to block it. 2 balls and a strike.
The fact that Kinsey Hansen blocked it and did it straight down. So many times you see that pitch skip in and skip off the catcher to the left or the right. What a great job by Hansen knocking it straight down in the dirt.
2 balls and a strike. Joe's the pinch runner at second. Kaneshiro stands at first. The 2-1 is Luke. And tossed by Lyons, who throws behind the runner at second, but she got back in safely. Grace Lyons on a looper. Reached out and snagged it out of midair for the second out of the inning.
In the way that Grace Lyons came up with that, it was kind of hit off the end of the bat. Or excuse me, she was jammed a little bit. So it wasn't hit extremely hard, but the way that Grace Lyons came around with the throw, I mean, that was just quick and made a lot closer at second base.
Here's Emily Schultz. She's 1 for 2. Single and a ground out to short. First pitch, a little bit up, ball 1.
Say this, Jordy Ball's fired up.
This looks a little bit more like that Jordy Ball that we would see that kind of stalks around the circle a little bit. She really seems to thrive coming out of the pen. She needs to get another out here. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike 1. What was that on the gun? 68 miles an hour from Jordy Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caitlin Lim waits on deck. First and second, still now 2 outs. Ball swings that arm, grabs the glove out of her mitt. Rocks and fires with a 1-1, and swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Jordy Ball is about to strike out Emily Schultz. You can see it.
And I think Jessica Allister did too. She came down and is talking to her hitters like, calm down, calm down. Oh, this place is absolutely electric. It's 1 o'clock on a Monday. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Jordy Ball. Swing and a miss. You called it, DJ, and she needed it. And the Sooners are out of a jam here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stanford back-to-back singles to start the 6th. And you're tied at 7. 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Torres, Boone, and Coleman. The winner advances. Well, if Oklahoma wins, they advance to the championship series. If Stanford wins, we'll play another game in 45 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Here's the first pitch to Torres. Swing and a miss. She was away late. Strike 1. Alina is 0 for 1, but did have the sac fly RBI in the second that at the time cut the Stanford lead at 2-1. Jada Coleman's home run made it 2-2, and that's where we've been since the third. We're in the top of the seventh. The 0-1, right down the middle, strike two.
This is where I really want to see Torres. She's in a pitcher's count right now. Find a way to put something in play. After the hit by pitch to Alyssa Brito, Kennedy struck out the side. So it's really important for Torres to find a way to put something in play to kind of break this up a little bit.
Here's the 0-2. Lifted deep to left field at the wall. It's off the wall. Torres is off to second base. She'll stay there with a leadoff double on an 0-2 ball that almost left the yard.
Torres, that's about as clutch as you can get. And these Sooners in 0-2 counts, unbelievable. And as Kennedy, she came inside to Torres, and that pitch just didn't have the break. And what a great job of keeping her hands inside the ball, because that pitch was so far inside, just one little inch of her hands going out away from her body, and she hooks that pitch out. What a great job by Torres.
Eck nearly made a sensational play leaping up against the wall, but it hits just below the white stripe on the left field wall, and Avery Hodge will pinch run, and Patty Gasso is going to bring everyone together and call her first time. What do you think the message here is from Coach Gasso?
Don't try to do too much. And you got to know, too, we might see a little short game from Riley Boone. Because that also would put Torres at third base with Jada Coleman and T.R.A. Jennings coming up. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. You've got the option for the squeeze, the sacrifice fly, ground ball to the right side with Avery Hodge at third base. I mean, so you've got to find a way to play the chess game here a little bit and find a way to manufacture this run no matter how it's done. But
there's a stat for you. 13 come from behind wins this season for the Sooners. 3 of those have come in the 7th inning. Is that Sarah Roberts behind the dugout leading the cheers for the Sooners?
It would not surprise me if it were.
Here we go. Meetings are over. Infield is in tight. Hodge at second. First pitch to Boone. She is bunting, popped it up, but he got over the head of the third baseman. It's down, and Riley Boone reaches. Steel charge too hard, and she pushed it right over her head. Now here comes Jada Coleman with runners at first and second. We'll take it.
Take it.
6th hit of the game for the Sooners.
And it was popped up. That's the thing about trying to bunt off a rise ball pitcher, is you see that happen a lot. But Steele absolutely crashed, expecting the bunt, and found a way. It wasn't a great bunt. That wasn't done on purpose, but it worked out. Well, now you're in the, what do you do here? Runners on first and second. Exact same situation that we saw Stanford in at the top half, or at the bottom half of the 6th inning.
And Jada Coleman, who is 1 for 3 today with a home run, and had the clutch hit on Thursday against Kennedy. In fact, Coleman was 2 for 3 against Kennedy on Thursday.
So I'm not mad at the bunt or some short game, but I feel differently about it when you've got Jada Coleman at the plate, right? So this is one of those gut feelings for Coach Gasso of where you at.
If you're sitting down, I don't know how. First and second for the Sooners. Nobody out in a 2-2 game in the top of the 7th. Good on good. Kennedy rocks and fires. First pitch, a little in, ball 1.
I like that Jada's getting the green light here. Again, neither thing would surprise me here, and simply because it's Jada Coleman in the box.
What speed on the bases, too. Hodge at second. Boone at first. Coleman homered in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch. Up and in, ball 2. Hitters count here. Two balls and no strikes to the Big 12 Player of the Year. A .421 average on the season, a career-high 17 home runs. Coleman's in and ready. The freshman of the year candidate brings home the 2-0. Ball three.
Gotta love this atmosphere for Jada Coleman. She lives for these moments, man.
Tiare Jennings waits on deck. 3 balls and no strikes. Kennedy brings it home. That's strike 1.
Better be careful here if you're Kennedy. You've got to throw a pitch that is barely catching the plate. Because 3-1 to Jada Coleman with a runner in scoring position.
Here's the 3-1. Ooh, called strike 2. Coleman thought it was ball 4. In fact, she had trotted halfway down the first base line. A quarter of the way.
And that's a strike. That's a brave pitch from Kennedy. I'll say that much.
3 balls and 2 strikes in a 2-2 game in the top of the 7th inning. First and second, nobody out. The pitch from Kennedy. Popped up, left field, shallow left field, racing in to make the catch is Hack, and there's one away. Here's Tiare Jennings.
Battled at bat, and again, I think you don't bunt Jada Coleman. It's hard to do it, but at the same, yeah, it's. I love the fact that Jada Coleman got shocked. I mean,
no sooner has had more success against Kennedy than Coleman. So here's Tiare Jennings. She is 0 for 3 on her birthday. Struck out her last time up against Kennedy. First pitch swinging late, strike 1. Jocelyn Erickson has moved into the on-deck circle. Interesting. No balls and a strike. What a potential spot here for the freshman. Here's the pitch to the Sooners' second baseman. Late again, strike 2.
you can just see Jennings trying to get on time. She's late, and that rise ball right there is working directly through the zone. She got Tiare on the changeup in her last at bat, but I feel like we're going to see some high heat here from Kennedy.
No balls and 2 strikes. Hodge at second, Boone at first. The pitch to Jennings. Swing and a miss. What a bounce back from Kennedy. My goodness. She's too good. 2 away.
Jocelyn Erickson getting the nod here. What confidence in the freshman.
Everything is about matchups. Everything is about swings. There is something in the matchup with Jocelyn Erickson that Oklahoma likes against Canada. We saw her against Tennessee. She hasn't had a hit since the California game, but only 4 plate appearances since then in the regional. What a spot for the true freshman. Top of the 7th in the Women's College World Series. First pitch. That's a strike. And Kennedy, after falling behind 3-0 to Jada Coleman, has thrown essentially 7 straight strikes.
She's one of the best. If people didn't know, they know it now.
The 0-1 is low and away. There we go. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Planky already said it about matchups, and we've talked so much in this game against Kennedy about finding a way to get on top of that rise ball. You know Erickson's in that box for just that reason. See, knowing her swing plane, and you talk about it all the time, how smooth she is.
The 1-1. Out straight back. She had a cut.
That smoothness and controlledness, is that a word? It is now.
I like it.
The controlled path of her swing, I feel like, is what JT Gasso and Coach Gasso are seeing in this situation. She has a good swing plane to potentially put the ball on the ground.
Sooners play the if necessary game in each of their last 2 national title trips. Trying to avoid it today. The 1-2 to Erickson is low and away, 2-2. Good take. If you're just now finding us, just now maybe sneaking out for lunch, high drama. What a day in Oklahoma City. We're tied at 2. Sooners have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And a tie game in the top of the 7th. The 2-2 to Erickson. Foul straight back. Had a good cut there.
It's a good at-bat by Erickson. One of the better at-bats I feel like we've seen off of Kennedy, especially today. Seeing more pitches.
Sooners have pounded out 6 hits. 2 of those 6 off Kennedy, who entered in the 5th. Here's the 2-2 pitch to the Sooner freshman Erickson. A little bit up, full count. That looked like strike 3. That was that off speed. Now Erickson's got to be ready for anything close. And a good old-fashioned makeup call potentially here.
Gosh, anything. And we're also going to see Avery Hodge gone. And Riley Boone gone on the pitch.
Don't leave early, ladies. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Erickson lines this one to left field, but a right at Eck, who makes the catch, and the inning is over. Sooners get their first 2 batters aboard, but can't bring them home. Now 6 hits for the Sooners, 2 runs, 5 hits for Stanford, and Caitlin Lim will lead things off. She's 0 for 2 on the day. The lefty has Alyssa Brito drawn in tight at third. First pitch in the dirt. Lim went 0 for 3 against Jordy Ball on Thursday with 3 strikeouts.
So important here for Jordy to throw strikes. No free passes. Don't give Stanford anything here. And Jordy has really just overpowered these Stanford hitters. In game 1, since she's come in here, all of it.
Time is called. Hansen had the wrong call sheet. She jumped up out of her stance behind home plate. Made a huge waving motion, and Jen Rocha pulls the proper call sheet out. 1 ball and no strikes to Lim. But foul. That thing shot left off the bat.
I love bunt for hits, but they're also so dicey, right? Like, Lim squaring around, she didn't even get the cap of her bat. If you're going to bunt for a hit, you've got to get the cap of your bat out in front of the plate, and she was dragging it so far behind her.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Jordy Ball. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Not even close.
We've talked so much about Kennedy's rise ball. Jordy's rise ball has been filthy in this Women's College World Series.
She's been so good. So good. And this season, incredible out of the pen, too. When called upon like she has been here, the 1-2, fouled straight back. Better cut for Lim there.
She has that mentality. And shoot, anybody who has a baseball team and has closers, you want the Jordy Ball mentality, right?
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch by Ball, headed home. Line drive left side. Lyons races out, makes the catch, 1 away.
Just good pitches. Jordy just looks so composed and unfazed by every single situation.
Here's Sydney Steele. Now, be careful here. This has been the World Series star for the Stanford Cardinal, but she is 0 for 2 today. First pitch to Steele is in for a strike. Her older sister was part of the Arizona State College World Series teams. Played here in 12 and 13, 11 and 12. Picture has been making the rounds of her holding up a sign supporting her sister as the 0-1 pitch is lined to right field, and it's down for a hit.
You said it, Plank.
She's been their spark plug. And she gets her first hit of the game.
When you're hot, you're hot. And she did it to the opposite side of the field, too, on a pitch that was sort of in on her hands. Pretty good piece of hitting.
Here's Ellie Eck, who is 0 for 2. Popped out to Nicole May in the second. Popped out to Kinsey Hansen in the fifth. Could she be laying down a bunt here, even though there's one out?
Ooh, not with your 9 hole.
Those pitches up high, ball 1.
I mean, River Mailer has looked less than stellar at the plate, and that's who they've got on deck. So I'm not so sure I'd want to give up an out to give Mailer the shot.
1 ball and no strikes. Eck hitting just 143 on the season, and that pitch misses high, 2-0. Sabrito barks out words of encouragement from that third base side. In their last 3 trips to the championship series, the Sooners have played the if-necessary game every year. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a bunt, and it's strike 1. Last time when OU was in this position in the national semifinals when they didn't play an if-necessary game was 2017 when they beat Mike White's Oregon team 4-2. And then swept through Florida, including that 17-inning thrill. Let's not have a repeat of that here. But if it means the Sooners will win, we'll stay here all day. The 2-1 is bounced foul.
Good to see Jordy even this count back up. She's at the bottom part of this lineup, and I feel like we've been saying it all week. Not to say that these Stanford hitters in the 7, 8, 9 can't get hot like Sydney Steele, but Eck has really not shown a lot at the plate. Go right at her.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Jordy Ball. Up high, ball 3. Bottom of the 7th, 2-2 game. Ball ran the count full earlier. She's nodding towards the Sooner dugout. She's missed up on a couple of rises here to Eck. 3-2. Are you sending Steele here?
No, but I'm going to have her have a huge lead.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. She wasn't going, and there's 2 away. And here's River Mailer.
Jordy Ball has owned the bottom half of this lineup and just went right after Eck with just pure heat. And I expect to see the same thing here to River Mailer. They go right at her.
Mailer was pinch hit for in the 5th inning. Avery Hodge is in the game in right field. She pinch ran and stayed in. Hard bunt back to Jordy. Gloves throws. Got her inning over. Whew. Everything is nerve-wracking right now, and we're going to extra innings. Nerve-wracking on Thursday. Your greatest fears have been realized as we head to the 8th inning. We're tied up at 2. Everything is even on this scoreboard. 2 runs apiece, 6 hits apiece. And the Sooners go to extra innings, trying to avoid the if-necessary game 45 minutes after the conclusion of this.
What a game, man. Obviously, I want the Sooners to figure this out right here, but what a game. Love it. And I do like Brito in this spot. She's got one of the few hits off of Kennedy.
Brito is 0 for today, but has reached base twice and has scored a run. First pitch, a little bit in. Boy, everything just pops out of her hand. That was 70 miles an hour and just missed in. Brito walked in the second, struck out in the third, and was hit by a pitch in the sixth. 2-2 game.
I lied. I said she had a hit off of Kennedy in game one. It was off Otter.
That's right. Fouled off. Ball and a strike. For those of you that are just tuning in, maybe like our buddy Toby Rowland, who just landed from Charlottesville, Virginia, as the Sooner baseball team returned after a valiant challenge against the Army. They beat Army, lost to East Carolina twice. The center fielder, Gindelsberger, came sprinting in from center field, kind of threw us off. Stanford jumped out in this game early on a 2-run Kylie Chung first inning home run. The Sooners scored on a Alina Torres sac fly in the second, and then a Jada Coleman solo bomb in the third. That's where we are as the 1-1 pitch misses up and away 2-0. And that's all right. Now we have another exchange of sunglasses, because after Gindelsberger came sprinting back in, they hand some sunglasses to Young, who now gives them to Gindelsberger. We were worried about some storms that were in the area, according to our buddy Dr. Kevin Clazel. But be clear here, it's not like an imminent threat. They're just monitoring it right now. The 2-1 is grounded towards short. Couple of hops, charging. Young to throw. In time.
Just jammed. Yeah, I tell you this much, though. Shortstop Emily Young checked down a little bit too long. I think she thought she had more time than she really did, because Brito got down the line pretty quick.
Quincy Lilio is going to pinch hit here. So the story of this game isn't necessarily the runs and how Oklahoma has had to rally to tie this game. It's really been, as you might imagine, in the circle, where Nicole May, after giving up that first inning home run, proceeded to retire the next 13 batters that she faced. Jordy Ball came in after the first batter to reach on her, which was Taylor Gindelsberger in the sixth, and has been fantastic for the Sooners ever since. What a spot for Q. Quincy Lilio will pinch hit here. Another one of those players you haven't seen a lot of here in this postseason, but why not? First pitch, a little bit up, ball one.
When I look at this pinch hit opportunity, you look at Erickson's back in the seventh, which Erickson had a pretty good at-bat, by the way. But that's what all these pinch hitters, or pinch hit opportunities leading up to this, have been doing. Because Coach Gasso knew she was going to be calling on these players in this situation. So every opportunity previously.
1-0 pitch misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Lilio, as we mentioned, had it at bat against Tennessee and Stanford, is 0 for 2 in this Women's College World Series, has 1 hit in the postseason. That came against Cal. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Q. There's a strike, 2-1.
Would have liked to have seen Lilio attack that pitch. Good hitters count. Still had some upward rise ball spin on it, but it was not up in the zone as much as we've seen. Would have liked to have seen Lilio attack that pitch.
Lilio is hitting here in Sydney Sanders' spot. The 2-1 pitch is popped up behind home plate. Kaneshiro makes the catch. 2 away. And here's Kinsey Hansen's spot in the lineup. She's 2 for 3 today, couple of singles, but when she faced Kennedy in the 6th, Kennedy struck her out. Again, Oklahoma's previous 3 trips to the championship series were a direct result from having to play an if-necessary game. In 2021, they had to against James Madison because they lost the opener. I go back even further. Alabama, they had to play too, which included the last time the Sooners were shut out. So 19 against Bama, 21 against JMU. And in 2022, just last season, they lost 7-3 to UCLA and then turned around and beat them 15-0. Hansen's meeting with Coach Gasso is over. She digs in. Each team with 6 hits, each team with 2 runs. We're in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Kana. Fouled it straight back. Had a good cut. Strike 1.
I know Kinsey struck out her last at bat back in the 6th off of Kennedy, but she put some good swings on the ball. And that rise ball that Kennedy's been throwing so much, Hansen has done a better job than some of the other OU hitters of actually seeing it and trying to adjust to get on top. She's got to read the low rise. That's the pitch she has to attack.
The 0-1, out straight back again. And when you talk about that low rise, they just started in a different spot than you typically see, right?
Yeah, so I think we get so programmed to think about the rise ball as a pitch that finishes at the eyes or finishes up out of the zone. Good rise balls start in the strike zone. And Kennedy is so effective with it because she throws it at different levels. She throws the pitch that starts at the knee and finishes at the belt. Those are those pop-ups you see. She throws the rise ball that starts right below the letters and finishes out of the zone, which is what we'll probably see here, 0-2. So it's just different levels.
Here is the 0-2. There is that rise. Hansen did a good job laying off it. Ball 1.
I think people get so caught up in the rise ball and it gets lost that you can zone off one level of a rise ball. You can't zone off all of them that easily. Especially if you take it and it's going to be a called strike.
Exactly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hansen waits. Pitch. Popped it. Right field. Lim is under it and makes the catch. And that'll do it. Oklahoma goes 1-2-3. That was bold.
And if you're Stanford, too, you've got to start thinking, if you get a base runner, you've got to start trying to apply some pressure to this Oklahoma defense in some way, shape, or form, as opposed to just trying to rely on the sticks versus Jordy Ball. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Stanford trying to get cute with some things here.
Gindelsberger is 2 for 3 on the day. Led off the game with a single, flied out to left in the 3rd, and then singled in the 6th, and lines 1. That's knocked down by Grace Lyons deep in the hole, but there's no throw. And once again, a leadoff single for Taylor Gindelsberger here in the 8th, and I would imagine this is going to become Sacrifice City for Emily Young, even though Emily Young has a couple of hits off Jada Coleman. She singled on her Thursday, went 1 for 3, and in her only plate appearance here, had a single.
And we've seen some good stuff from Emily Young. She's put together some good at-bats, even though they haven't always...
Ground ball foul down the 3rd baseline. She wasn't bunting, she was swinging away.
Held my breath there for a second. Too close for comfort. But, I mean, she's put together some good at-bats, even though it hasn't always accounted for her being on base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the conclusion now, Stanford's like, we don't bunt.
Right.
Like, never bunt, I think, is what they're rolling with.
No balls and a strike in this 2-2 game. That hit was the 7th for Stanford. Jordy Ball brings home the 0-1. This is a bunt, and it is a beauty. Brito charges, throws, safe. Everybody's safe. And Sydney Sanders made a heck of a play to save that ball from going down the line. Now, there's probably no question that Ali Kaneshiro is going to be called upon to bunt here with runners at 1st and 2nd, right?
You have to. You have to. This is the exact same situation that we saw Kaneshiro in back in the 6th, and she grounded out the first pitch directly back to Jordy Ball. So we said it as soon as this half inning started. Stanford has got to try to do something different, and that's exactly what they're doing. So the Sooner defense just needs to stay within themselves, though, and make some plays here.
2-2 game, bottom of the 8th. Kaneshiro shows bunt early and bunts it foul, strike 1. Kylie Chung waits on deck. She has the 2-run home run, but since then has been 0 for 2. Right now, Kaneshiro, he's 0 for 3, grounded out to 3rd, was struck out looking in the 3rd. and reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th. That was an exact same situation as we have here. First and second, nobody out. Here's the 0-1 from Jordy Ball. This one is pulled back and taken low. One ball, one strike.
It's a good job by Hansen. That was a miss by Jordy Ball. And knowing here that Kaneshiro is trying to lay down a bunt, be surprised to see Jordy try to work up in the zone, make her job tougher.
One ball, one strike. Jordy rocks and fires. The bunt is popped up, caught by Brito. No throw anywhere else. One away. For a moment, Brito thought about throwing to second, but thought better of it. Now here's Kylie Chung. Last time up, Chung had Grace Lyons take away I don't know if that could have been a run-scoring hit, but at the very least a base hit on a nice play by Grace on a little looper deep in the hole.
What a great job by Jordy Ball with just the location of that pitch. And maybe that's our answer as to why they didn't bump back in the 6th. But
first pitch by Ball is popped up behind home plate. Not enough room for Hansen. That'll hit midway up the netting and roll back down. No balls and a strike. You want to be optimistic? Let's look ahead to the Sooner 9th. 7-8-9, which has been a place that has generated some opportunities for the Sooners here today. No balls and a strike. That arm swings in front of Jordy. Stares in, brings home the 0-1. Inside, one ball, one strike. A leadoff single by Gindelsberger. A sac bunt by Young that the Sooners were unable to get her out at first. And you get the pop out by Kaneshiro for the first out. Sooners trying to extend this game, get back into the dugout, and force a 9th inning. Here's the 1-1 from Ball. Strike two.
It's a good pitch. And I don't think we gave, and Plank, you said it, about what a good job Sydney Sanders did on that bunt, because the throw took her off the bag. I don't know if we gave enough love to what a big-time play that was by Sydney Sanders of keeping that ball in front, and it was a beautiful bunt by Emily Young.
One ball, two strikes. Jordy rocks and fires. Bounced foul. The championship series awaits the Sooners if they can find a way to win here in Game 1. The championship series will also await them if they can win in Game 2, but obviously a winner-take-all game with the way that we've seen Kennedy pitch becomes a very dicey situation for Oklahoma and going for 3 straight. Here's the 1-2 from Jordy Ball. Swing and a miss! 2 away.
Jordy Ball has been so big time. We are in the tightest situation, arguably, that the Sooners have seen all season. And Jordy Ball gives up back-to-back singles with nobody out and just throws a filthy changeup to the 4-hole hitter.
Emily Schultz is 1 for 3 on the day. Had a first inning single, but grounded out to short and struck out in the 6th in this same situation. First pitch, strike. Stanford had runners at first and second with nobody out in the 6th. They got Kaneshiro on the fielder's choice. Chung popped out, and Schultz struck out.
You get the feeling here, this outfield for OU, anything that touches the green, Allister's going to be sending. So you've got to come up knowing you're throwing.
0-1 is fouled straight back, and Jordy jumps ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
And same thing here on the infield. Anything that's questionable on the infield, it might be a tight play at first base. Expect Gindelsberger to be gone. So defensively, the Sooners have got to be getting rid of the ball quickly, no matter where it's hit, and expecting Gindelsberger to try to sneak something across here.
No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Ball. Pop foul down the left side and out of play.
Everybody clap your hands.
To lead off the inning.
Today. But nobody's left early here. If you snuck out of work on this Monday, you've stayed here. You get bonus softball, and I'm not trying to minimize the impact of your ticket, but I hope you don't get another game. Big spot here. Stanford out hitting the Sooners 8-6, but we're tied at 2. The 0-2 pitch from Jordy Ball with runners at first and second. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Jordy got her swinging. And that'll do it for the Cardinal in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the National Weather Service, the NCAA, have been monitoring it. During that break between the bottom of the 8th and the top of the 9th here, Sooner softball tied at 2 with Stanford. They put a warning on the screen that severe weather is approaching. And according to our weather guru, Dr. Kevin Claisel, lightning is 10 miles south in a cell, and it's just drifting along I-240 now. So it's something that adds, as we talked about Kennedy coming in about the same time whenever the weather concerns started to pop up. So here we go. Hopefully the Sooners can put about 3 on the board here. I'll just take 1 and not worry about it. Here's Grace Lyons. First pitch from Najee Kennedy is headed home. Lyons takes strike 1. Grace is 0 for 1, but has reached base twice. Walked in the second. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Struck out in the 6th. Might have been the best inning for Najee Kennedy, the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Lyons. Swing and a line drive down the left field line. Fair. It takes a hop and hits the wall. Lyons on her way to second. She'll slide in with a leadoff double. That's what captains do. They set the tone, and Lyons stands in scoring position with nobody out to lead off the top of the 9th inning.
You could feel all World Series that Grace Lyons was just 1 swing away, and you cannot think of a better time. That is why Grace Lyons is one of the best. One of the best to ever wear a Sooner uniform. Gotta love it.
Big moment here, Alina Torres. And you want to talk about a pretty heads-up play by Torres. As she was walking to the batter's box, she reminded Patty Gasso, Coach, re-enter me.
Yep.
We had a situation many years ago. I think we're going back to like 17 when Kelsey Arnold hadn't been re-entered and got a base hit. Fortunately, didn't count. But a heads-up play by Torres. Here we go. Runner at second. Will she be bunting? Nope. First pitch is low and in, ball 1.
What a spot here for Torres.
Ooh. Crystal Kodina was driving to send me a picture of the storm that's approaching us. That is a little bit concerning.
Nasty looking.
Now it's covered the sun here at a USA Softball Hall of Fame Stadium. The 1-0 is a little bit up, ball 2.
That's such a good take.
Zoning that out.
Yes.
Look at me learning from you, DJ.
But we've talked about it all day. That's that low rise. And we've seen so many chases on that pitch. And Torres just doing a really good job of getting rid of it.
2 balls and no strikes. Lyons at second. A leadoff double. The pitch is grounded towards third. Lyons will head back to second. The throw is in time and gets Torres.
I like what Grace was trying to do, trying to get Sydney Steele to just look at her long enough, but she didn't quite give her enough bite.
So here's Riley Boone, who is 2 for 3 on the day. She singled in the 7th on a ball that should have been a pop-out, but Oklahoma was unable to get anything done against Canada, which has kind of been the story of this afternoon. First pitch to Boone. Popped up behind home plate, but that's going to get out of play.
I'll say this, looking at the way that this defense is set up, Kylie Chung, the second baseman for Stanford, is really shaded up the middle. You've got Kennedy, who's proven that she's a good athlete out of the circle, but if Riley Boone, which is a lot easier said than done off of someone that throws as hard as Kennedy, but if she could take something with her down the first baseline or in between the 3-4 hole.
There's a pop-up behind home plate again. Is there room? No, that barely got over the camera behind that's mounted atop the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes now to Boone. Jada Coleman waits on deck.
Regardless here with 2 strikes, Riley Boone needs to put a ground ball swing on the ball. I mean, she catches that rise ball spin just right. That's going to turn into a line drive, but she's got to put a ground ball swing on the ball.
2 for 3 day already for Boone. But behind here, no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Kennedy, ground back up the middle, cut off at short to throw. In time, just got her. Nice job by Young, flashing across the bag. And now it'll take a 2-out hit from Jada Coleman as Lyons advances to third.
I walk Jada Coleman.
I might too. By the way, this is the first time the Sooners have had a runner at third base since the first inning.
And I'm taking 0 things away from T.R.A. Jennings. We know what T.R.A. Jennings can do. That's not a knock on Jennings at all, but you play the statistics of the game. Jada has put the ball in play well, decently well, in comparison, off of Kennedy, and Kennedy has struck T.R.A. Jennings out twice. Now, I still like our odds with Jennings, but if you're playing a statistics game, you don't let Jada Coleman have the opportunity.
Here's another thing too. Kaneshiro has had a handful of Kennedy pitches pop out of her glove towards the backstop. A wild pitch is definitely in play here too. And whatever it takes to get a run, we'll take it.
They're going to stand up and give her 4.
They're going to walk Jada Coleman to get to T.R.A. Jennings. Say that out loud.
Yep. We've got a lot of boos coming from Sooner fans, but this is the play. It is. Yep. You play the odds, and the fact that Kennedy has really sort of owned T.R.A. Jennings. I mean, she struck her out 4 times in 2 games, and it doesn't mean that Jennings isn't going to get the job done, but that's the odds you play. It's the right call. As much as I hate to see the bat taken out of Jada Coleman's hands.
Every pitch has been as perfect of a intentional walk pitch as you can have. We've seen these be dicey sometimes. Coleman turns to the crowd and fires him up as she walks down to first base, and the Sooner faithful respond.
And if people were unhappy about the bat spikes,
they're going to be really mad about that.
Tough, man. At this point, this is a program of young women who are fighting to win a ball game. Enjoy the passion.
T.R.A. Jennings is 0 for 4 on her birthday. Kennedy has had her number so far. What adjustments has T.R.A. made? Long look for Kennedy. First and third, 2 outs. First pitch to T.R.A. is in for a strike. Maybe also try to get something going first and third here.
Yeah, and Stanford in 2 games, they have just every first and third situation, because we've seen a couple. We've seen one in this game. They let the runner just take the bag. So, man, a 2-run cushion would be awesome. So I would expect to see Jada take off at some point.
Here's the no ball, 1 strike pitch to T.R.A. Jennings. Popped up right side. Is it going to get out of play? It will. Coleman was not on the move. She shouts words of encouragement from first base down to the Sooner standout second base. That shows you how in control Kennedy has been when it comes to her matchups with T.R.A. Jennings.
You talk about it all the time, playing matchups.
That's what this game is.
Yes, and this has been a tough one for Jennings. And again, put a ground ball swing on the ball. That's got to be her outlook.
The 0-2, pop foul. She had a good cut there. That was not a ground ball swing.
And it's tough to put a ground ball swing on a pitch in your face, right?
That's right.
But Tiare Jennings is a fighter, though. I love her in this position. You want to know what she's thinking about? She's thinking about the next pitch. She's not thinking about anything that has happened prior. She's thinking about the next pitch.
This game pushes past the 3-hour mark. We're in the ninth, 2-2. Oklahoma has runners at first and third with 2 outs. They walk Coleman to get to Jennings. Here comes the 0-2. Line drive, right center field, down for a hit. It's up the alley. The Sooners take the lead. Here comes Jada Coleman. She'll score from first. It's a 2-run double from the birthday girl. And Oklahoma has taken a 4-2 lead in the top of the ninth inning.
Just as we said, she's thinking about the next pitch. There it is. And she did it with 2 strikes.
4-2 Sooners. We're in the top of the ninth inning. Tiare Jennings on an 0-2 pitch asks for noise from the crowd, and the Sooner faithful respond here at Marita Hines North.
And she absolutely got on top of the ball. And we've talked about it all game. You've got to put a ground ball swing on the ball, and that is exactly what she did. And that was a curveball. It wasn't even a rise ball. What a good job by Jennings.
Jada Coleman scored from first. Lions able to walk home from third. It's 4-2 OU. Here's Jocelyn Erickson. Ground ball to short. Soft one. Bobble dropped. Erickson beats it out. And here's Alyssa Brito.
Putting the ball on the ground. Stanford can feel it now. You can see it. The mistake by Emily Young, but this infield hasn't had to work much because Kennedy has forced these OU hitters up in the air. But we're starting to see ground ball, line drive, ground ball swings.
That will be ruled an error, the first error on the Cardinal here today. 4-2 OU. Here's Alyssa Brito. First pitch from Kennedy is popped up. Left side, is it going to get out of play? It will. That ball looked like it was destined to be a pop out off the bat. And that thing kept drifting and drifting and drifting, and thankfully got into the second row. This all started with a leadoff double from the captain.
Talk about a story. Grace Lyons, the way she was struggling at the plate, and Tiare Jennings coming up clutch.
The 0-1 to Brito is that off speed that falls in. 0-2 pitches have been the demise of pitchers here today. Nicole May gave up a home run on an 0-2 pitch. Kennedy gives up the go-ahead double to Jennings on an 0-2 pitch. Here's another 0-2, and that's fouled back. Hey, Erickson was going on that.
I like it.
Not very quickly, though.
No, Kennedy, I mean, that was a missed pitch. 2 strikes, and it was pretty flat, but Jennings made her pay. That's what happens. That's what good hitters do. I'll still go back to, and I'm sure that especially Stanford fans of walking to get to Jennings, I would do the same thing. That was the right call.
No balls and 2 strikes to Brito, the pitch. That off speed was filthy. Brito buckled, called strike 3. But the Sooners are 3 outs away from a berth in the championship series. Outs away, Caitlin Lim will lead it off. It'll be Lim, Steele, and Eck. 4-2 Sooners, bottom of the ninth. First pitch from Jordy Ball is a little bit out, ball 1. Lim on the day is 0 for 3. A strikeout victim in the first, popped out to short in the fourth, popped out to short in the seventh. She bats here to try to get Stanford back in this game with OU on top, 4-2. Here's the 1-0 from Jordy Ball. Popped up. Is there room for Hansen? No.
I really want to see Jordy just hammer the zone here. And Stanford is going to stay aggressive and try to attack and get something rolling here. I mean, this is their final breath. So Jordy just needs to hammer the strike zone and let these Stanford hitters, especially in the bottom half of this lineup, play into her defense.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Lim. Fouled straight back, 1-2.
Now, I still want to see really good 2-strike pitches, though.
Jordy Ball came into this game in the 6th after a leadoff single by Gindelsberger. Gave up a single of her own. Has been solid since, even though Stanford has had some scoring opportunities. The 1-2 is fouled back again.
Big hacks from Caitlin Lim. Just trying to find a way to get on base, but with a couple of the swings she's put on some of these pitches, I think she's trying to put a run on the board.
How many jams has Jordy worked out of? This is unreal. She can make it easier on herself here by just striking out Caitlin Lim to start this inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. A little bit up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a good location. Sets up a few things here.
Again, if Stanford rallies, we play 45 minutes after the end of this game. If OU wins, we get an afternoon to watch Tennessee and Florida State and see who the Sooners will play on Wednesday. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Boy, that just missed outside, 3-2.
And that's a ball. Kenzie Hansen made it look good, and I like the pitch. That's the spot, trying to get Lim to chase the screwball off the plate. But she's got to go at her here. Make Lim put the ball in play. Or just strike her out. That works too.
The 3-2. House foul. Good at bat going here for Lim.
Lim doesn't know we got lightning on the way.
Yeah, I know. She's taking her time.
Yep.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. 1 away.
Rise ball through the zone. What a big time pitch. What confidence to throw that pitch just through the strike zone. I mean, that ball moved from the knee to the letters.
1 away. Here's Sydney Steele. Now, this has been one of the most consistent hitters for Stanford in the postseason. She swings to the first pitch for strike 1. 1 for 3 for Sydney Steele on the day. Steele grounded out to third in the 2nd, popped to third in the 5th. Singled in the 7th, but was stranded. And she's behind on the count 0-2 as she pops that pitch back up behind home plate. This would be, if the Sooners can hang on here, the first time since 2017 that they've advanced to the championship series without having to play the if necessary game. But there's still 2 outs to go. They got some work to do. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss. 2 away. 2 away. 4 straight strikeouts for Jordy Ball. 6 since she's entered the game in the 6th.
Bulldog. And she's got 6 on the day, but she has gone to another level. 4 in a row. And I'll say this, I got a feeling Eck's going to be 5 in a row. She is dealing.
0 for 3 for Eck, and she swings through strike 1.
And it's not even close. She's got the matchup against Eck.
4-2 Sooners, bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Jordy Ball. Ooh, that just missed a little bit outside. One ball, one strike. Each team with 8 hits. Stanford was charged with an error on that ground ball by Erickson in the top of the 9th. But that was irrelevant to the score. 1-1 catches the outside corner. Strike 2. The Sooners are now 1 strike away.
Jordy Ball has used the rise ball up in the zone, especially against these lefties. What a good spot for it to seal the deal.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Ball. Line drive, left side. Boone makes the catch. Win column, Sooners. Game over. In extra innings, the Sooners ended the season for the Stanford Cardinal and claim a spot in Wednesday's championship series, where Oklahoma will be in pursuit of their 3rd straight national championship. They've swept through the Women's College World Series field, and the winner of Florida State, Tennessee, will have to face the crimson-clad Sooner Nation on Wednesday.